Go ahead.
They obviously were able to get it back to 5-4 a couple times, just make a few runs. Just what did you like about how you guys continued to respond in each of those cases? We're able to quickly get it back to double figures.
Yeah, and they made the run in the fourth quarter. Thomas hit a big three, and maybe Shepard hit the other one. I'm not exactly sure. But, it's as a coach, you're thinking about timeout, no timeout, and, just decided to let them keep going. And we got it back up to 10 and actually got a little over 10, I think, when our starters came back in. So, it worked out. But, look, this is a horrifically difficult game. They got a bunch of hard-playing physical guys that, are really into the opportunity that they have. And they have guys that beat us last year in here. Santos is one of them. Quinones is with a different team now, but they had some kind of no-name-ish type guys come in here last year and really hurt us. So, it's just a difficult game. Did not feel like we won every quarter, but we did. And so the important thing is to get the win, and we've got to keep going. I mean, we've got a good month going so far, and it's certainly not going to get any easier now.
Seemed like one guy who kept coming up with answers sort of every time somebody made a run if he was on the floor was Pascal. And obviously that's been the case for him sort of all year, being somebody that you've been able to rely on regardless of what was going on. I mean, just how big was he tonight? He's 12 of 16, extremely efficient. And just, again, to continue with what you've gotten.
Yeah, Pascal was tremendous. He was tremendous. And, the efficiency numbers, 12 out of 16, the big three hit. We had a lot of opportunities for threes throughout the game, and we just could never seem to hit the one that would really get the crowd going. And so that was the one that he hit in the fourth that really, I think, got us to 13 or something like that. So, no, he's a great player. Tyrese a great player. But, playing with leads continues to be a challenge for us. And this is not exclusive to the Pacers. I think every team in the league probably has challenges with it, unless it's a real hardened veteran team. But it's just another area where we have upside, and we've just got to keep working on it.
We're gonna go. Mathurin, obviously 21 and 10. We talked a lot about him this week, but he obviously hit some big threes there, gets the tip dunk. Just how important were some of those things? It seemed like there was a lot of stuff that, again, you've been harping and asking for there. It seemed like he stepped up again with a couple of big shots and some good efficiency.
Yeah. Again, Ben didn't have a great game going into the fourth quarter, but in the fourth quarter he made key shots, key rebounds, both ends of the floor. The 2 threes were huge on our run. The tip dunk was a big momentum play and got the crowd going. So. Real proud of him. Early in the game, again, our whole tone wasn't where it needed to be, just in terms of the edge and the disposition, but we were able to adjust. And so, we're not going to have the luxury of that on Sunday.
Obviously, they were able to back a couple times within maybe 4 or 5. You guys were able to come up with answers in a lot of those cases. What did you like about just how you were able to respond when it did start to get a little bit sloppy?
Yeah, just win the game. That's the objective at the end of it. It doesn't matter how it comes. We just want to win. So they're NBA players too. Obviously they're missing some guys, but those are good players over there who are playing to prove some things and get more minutes. And it's just part of the game. It's part of the NBA. They ebbs and flows, but just figure out a way to win. That's what we did tonight.
I said, what do you think you just did well in those cases? When they got it to 4, they got it to 5. If they gave you any reason to panic, you guys generally got either a 3 or a dunk or something like that right after that. We got the response.
In the fourth, Thomas got some big stops there, led to some kick aheads for Pascal. That was playing transition. We just had to get stops and get more in transition. We were able to do that.
One guy obviously seemed to. A bunch of you guys did, but who seemed to come up with a lot of those answers is Pascal, and it seemed like obviously he's been a steadying force for you guys all year. Just how important has he been through the ups and downs you guys have had so far as somebody that you've been able to sort of rely on, be able to kind of carry you through some of the tougher times?
Yeah, he's been obviously, like you said, the steady guy on our team. Very consistent. We can count on him to play the right way, to get we trust him in any one-on-one matchup really. So when things get slowed down there, you can give him the ball in the post and just let him go to work. That's what he does.
With I guess that piece to it, just the fact that he's always able to come up with a shot. I mean, like, what impresses you about how, again, you can throw the ball in a one-on-one matchup and he could just find a way? I mean, just what stands out to you about how he's able to just get a bucket in those circumstances?
Yeah, no, that's just the way he plays. He can get a shot on anybody. I think he does a great job of finding the balance between taking maybe those tough twos sometimes and moving the ball. I think he does a great job because he's just been the steady hand for us. We were very consistent all year, ever since he's gotten here. And I think, what we're missing, with our two bigs down has been that energy big. That's what Isaiah would do in last year, is make those energy plays to really get the bench involved, the crowd involved, those highlight plays. And I thought Thomas did a great job of that. His energy, like we talked about last game, has just been contagious and amazing. So really good pickup for us, and he's been really helping us.
What was the second Buddy matchup like? In shots, I mean, if you
well,
would you have taken the over on 20?
No betting. That was crazy. That was set me up right there. I would never do such a thing. Yes, none of those.
Oh, none of those.
Yeah, no. But no, I mean, he's Buddy Hield. He's going to get him up. So especially with guys out, his energy can be contagious to a group. The way he plays, so definitely was a point of emphasis for us.
Obviously, it was a really good fourth quarter for Ben Mathurin tonight as you guys close this one out. But how have you seen him grow? I know there's been a lot of talk about his growth this season, but what have you seen from him specifically, and especially your guys' on-court chemistry, as that's kind of been a question mark in the previous seasons? How do you think you guys have grown together?
Yeah, just, find him in the right spots. He can score with the best of them, so we know he can do that. He's doing a great job defending. He had 10 rebounds tonight, which is huge. So he's doing a great job of just doing what's needed right now and filling that role very nicely. So, just keep seeing him grow there has been amazing.
I'm curious, I didn't see it necessarily a ton tonight, but, how has your comfortability, as a screener grown? And if you've, taken any advice from Buddy or even Steph?
Yeah, I haven't taken any advice from Buddy when it comes to screening. He's a terrible screen setter. Steph, just watching Steph all summer, and it also gets him open at the same time. So watching him do that all summer, having constant conversation with him, was a great learning experience for me, and just trying to keep growing in that aspect. Sometimes if teams are going to stay attached, that screen can become almost a double screen to a sense. So, and let me take back what I said about Buddy. He's a terrible screener, but he's a great ghost screener. Probably the best ghost screener in our game. But again, that just comes from his gravity and the way he moves. But I would never, ever take advice from him on how to set a screen. He is the worst. He is the best three-point shooter in the history of the game that can't set a screen. Usually three-point shooters are great screeners. Buddy Hield is not. Great ghost screener, though.
You've played pretty efficiently on offense the past 5 games or so. What have you liked about your game during this stretch and the team's, offense over the past 5?
Just getting to the paint, being aggressive. Been taking care of the ball lately. Besides tonight, it was a little rough. 5 turnovers each. But I've been getting downhill, being aggressive. 7 free throws. I'm excited about that. But numbers don't lie. Y'all can look it up. The more I'm in the paint, the more we win games. So it's really been about me being aggressive to get 2 feet in the paint and be aggressive to get downhill. Opens up everything for me, opens up everything for everybody else. So just trying to play the right way. I feel like I'm doing a good job of that.
Tyrese, what do you see trending with this team in 2025 so far?
I think we're defending at a high rate, which has really been helping us. As much flack we caught last year for being poor defensively, you don't get to where we got to last year without defending, So, we know that when we can be, obviously the last year and parts of this year we've been, a bottom 5, bottom 10 defense. When we can be in that kind of that 10 to 15 range, we're really tough to beat when we can defend at a high level. And that opens up things for us in transition. So I think that's been our biggest area of growth, getting Andrew Nemhard helps a lot. He's an all-league defender. You can put that in writing. He's an all-league defender. I think a lot of the NBA would agree with that. And we can't wait to get Aaron Nesmith back soon because those are our two best on-ball defenders. So those guys really help. And then Miles protecting the paint. We just got a lot of different guys buying in and doing a good job on that end, and that's opening up everything for what we do offensively.